Well, hello. I'm Tamra, and today I want to talk to you about anxiety and having temper outbursts. And I want to know if you have a hot temper. I think sometimes people look at hot tempers as this horrible bad thing, and in some cases it can be, in other cases it may not be. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is bipolar. They just may have a short fuse. And if you have a short fuse or you find yourself being kind of temperamental, I want you to comment why. Like what is driving that? Is it because you have a fast mind, you think very quickly and you don't have the patience to wait for other people to get their thoughts together? Like you're like, "Hey, come on, I already know. I've already figured this out. Just jump into it." Or do you find yourself having a hot temper when it comes to romantic relationships? Because sometimes when we get in romantic relationships, that's when the tempers can flare. Like you think he's flirting with somebody else, or you think she was looking at another dude, or whatever, and you get upset about it. You get all in your feelings. That can be very triggering, right? Because in relationships, we tend to deal with a lot of times what gets triggered is unresolved issues, for one thing. It could be you had a string of relationships before that were broken or toxic, or you got cheated on and things just didn't work out. And so now you resort to your temper to solve problems for you or to figure things out. Maybe you have a short fuse because you want to get things done quickly. You don't have a lot of patience. You don't like to wait. Waiting is not fun to you. But what triggers your temper? And this is aside from, like I said, having bipolar or some type of personality disorder. There are some people that just they get frustrated pretty quickly. But sometimes getting frustrated or having a hot temper with someone can cause friction in your friendships. And it can also create tension in your family relationships. I think a lot of us can be temperamental when it comes to close family members, like a sibling or a cousin or somebody that you feel really close to. You might spaz off at. Do you find yourself doing that? When do you have a hot temper? Or are you always even keeled? And are you okay, like for example, in a romantic relationship with things getting a little heated sometimes? Some people like that. Some people find that attractive. Some people feel like it kind of gets things going, or it intensifies the relationship and they don't mind it. But it just depends on how you take it. I think sometimes people get agitated, aggravated in relationships and they want to call it quit when that might not be necessary. It might just mean, hey, you know what? We had a disagreement. We both feel very passionately about this topic. And so one of us or both of us got frustrated and expressed a little bit of a temper when it came to that. But one area that I have started to discover is that some people have a temper because they feel a lot of anxiety. And that anxiety is what's driving their temper. And they may not even be fully aware of that. They might kind of, what is it? Fight or flight? I'm saying it right way. Fight or flight. So sometimes if you think there's danger or you hear a noise, what is that triggering you? Is it triggering, or do you just kind of go on with your day like little noises, little this or that, or somebody dropping something, or that doesn't bother me? Whereas some people are super sensitive to underlying meanings and hidden things, or something happening to someone that they care about or that they love, and saying the wrong thing can be triggering to them. Or it's, oh my, some people are very expressive. Oh my goodness. And for somebody who has a lot of anxiety, that's kind of a what happened? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Because you're triggering their fight or their flight, where they're like, okay, do I need to jump into action? Maybe they had some trauma in their life. Maybe they're a whole, they don't have any type of disorder or anything like that, but just they are highly sensitive people. And so they're always on the lookout for danger or for something bad happening, because that's kind of where their brain always shifts to, is something is about to happen. Something is about bad is going to happen. So you have to learn how to overcome reactivity. You may have strong reactions to things that really are no big deal, that don't matter. So if you find yourself having a hot temper, I want you to look a little deeper and figure out, do you just have a lot of anxiety? Like, do you worry a lot? Are you afraid of a lot? Do you have a lot of phobias? Do things scare you? Were there things that happened in your childhood that were unpredictable? And so any little sign of something, it puts you back in that place. And sometimes you react with people in ways that are not very nice because you're easily triggered. Maybe on Myers-Briggs you're a J, so you like to kind of know how things are going to go at all times. And when something changes or it doesn't go quite the way that you're expected, or you're in a place and the temperature it's too cold or it's too hot, those kind of things can be triggering. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because your anxiety can raise things, make it can alter your state of living. It can make life a little less fun. It can make life a little jarring or a little uneasy. And who wants to feel jumpy all the time? So it can do some internal damage that you don't want it to do. So you have to practice. You can start by being aware of your triggers. And also, when it happens, telling yourself that you're okay, it's safe, nothing is going to happen. Let that person be who they are. A lot of times, those people may also be very controlling. They want to control everything in people's lives who they care about, because they want to make sure that you don't do anything that could cause you to be hurt or anything like that, because they already are overwhelmed by their emotions and their feelings. And this is not just thinkers and feelers. This can be you can be a thinker and be easily triggered to go off. So what is causing you to be angry? What makes you feel angry sometimes? What's triggering your anxiety? Let's start figuring that out now so that you can have better, more whole relationships with people. Because you snap at people too much, they're going to start running from you, because they're not going to want to be around that, because everybody's already dealing with their own junk. So let's work on that. Let's work on being a little calmer. Let's work on helping ourselves to feel safe, like we have a safety net under us. Sometimes we've been through a lot. Like, you may have had a lot of things in your adult life to go wrong, and so now you're on guard all the time about things going wrong. And we act those things out in romantic relationships. So we gotta get a handle on that. Doesn't mean that the first sign of a temper, oh, I'm gonna leave. The person might just be very expressive and reactive. So in some cases you can be forgiving. Like, that doesn't mean that you should quit the relationship, but it means when things are calmer, you have a conversation with the person and say, not in an accusatory way, not in a blaming way, not in a you're so terrible, you're awful kind of a way, but just in a I feel triggered when you get really upset. Is there something that, is there a way that I can help you with that? You seem angry a lot. It's, what caused that? What happened to make you feel anxious all the time? Is there something I can do to help you to feel a little calmer? You know, be a good partner. Be, you know, step in those kind of situations if you can, and just try to be a little patient with the person. The person just has nervous energy probably, and they've been through a lot of things, but it starts with the person. They have to work on themselves. And I guess if you have an even temper, you are very lucky. I feel like I can be triggered into anxiety sometimes, and I don't like it. And that's something that I have to work on also. So anyway, if you have any topics that you want me to address, any psychological issues or topics, I'm a counselor, so I may be able to help you with. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I put my heart and my soul into it, and I want to help you. So please subscribe and share this video with people that you think it will be helpful to, and be sure to like it, okay? All right, you guys, take care. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.